software, and it's all about fun and meeting and doing some good things. We found better beaches in Barcelona. Swimming was not that challenging there, but who are we? The Debian Med team has a lot of uploaders. Here is the list of the 10 most active ones. The good thing is that we have not so many missings here. There are other teams which have empty bars in these places, and we have established a quite solid team, which I'm very happy about. We are discussing on the mailing list, and we have a lot of party different users here, not only developers, but also people who are using our stuff. This is a developers mailing list, which also some Debian people who are doing QA work, who support us. We have a lot of people hunting for bugs, and well, that's maybe the reason people call me leader, because I'm doing a lot of uploads and hunting a lot of bugs, but I'm also trying to harvest a lot of low-hanging fruits, bugs with patches, which consume only 5 minutes to solve, and don't mind about these big red bars, but see that a lot of other people doing really a lot of good job, really good jobs. These are the commits and the Debian version control system. On next Saturday, I have a talk about the effect of our Corona sprints, and I will go more into detail of these graphs. I have some interesting observations about the effects of our sprint based on the version control commits. By the way, you can interrupt me, but I currently don't see you. So if you don't speak, please mute your microphone. But if you want to tell something, just say. Okay, now I hear an echo and somebody has switched on his microphone. This was not a good idea. So this graph is about the ITP bugs. The ITP bugs means we have a new upload done, and this new upload of a new package done. And so you see we have some peaks here. I can't explain, but I expect to have more peaks in 2020, actually due to the Corona sprint efforts. We will see later on. So an interesting graph is about maintainer per package relation. This graph describes how many people are working on one package. I ignore less than 5 commits to one package, but if there are more than 5 commits from different people, then it's a good sign if not only one person is contributing to the package, but if at least 2 or even more people are contributing. An optimal graph would be if you would here at number 0 and like a curve like this would be helpful. Okay, this is graph is showing the so-called tasks of the Debian Med project, for the Debian Med blend. We have the most of the package in the biology task, and you see the number of packages is growing constantly. And also for the Debian Med development, so where you can develop medical applications, it is growing here. We have also quite some packages in the medical imaging part, and we have epidemiology, and we have medical practice, but not that much. The reason is that the biology applications are developed at universities and attached to to scientific publications, and which is usually connected to free software, and we can only package free software. So we have a lot of stuff in this field, and we have a lot of contributors from this field. Okay, well, I have some kind of history here, because I said 15 years I was working on Debian Med, and after 50 years, the people in my institute considered using it, because my idea was it could be used in my institute. And John Meadowcall told me, only 15 years, you young guys should be more patient. I should hurry up, since after 15 years I might be dead, but you have so much time. And this is some kind of wisdom I want to share with you because, we should not be frustrated if not so many people start contributing in the first year to one project. And it's such kind of project is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I think we made quite a good pace in this marathon, and we are having progress and getting more and more people involved, which is a good thing. Why do we get so many people? Well, in 2012, I decided to run an effort mentoring of the month. It was, well, I was inviting people to contribute for 1 month and learn to package medical applications under the kind guiding of me or other people of the Debian Med team. It's the kind is important for me because people should not hesitate to ask maybe stupid question, but there are no stupid. A stupid question is a question what was never asked, right? So they should ask everything, should ask in open, and we try to educate kindly. And you see the package that was worked on, so the student which is learning can choose freely what package to do, and then we try to help him solving this problem. The maybe not so good news is that these people, while finished the work, are not so active anymore, but we have some active people, and maybe even some people come back again, like Malia Asamani, who I taught in 2015. She came back for the Debian Med sprint in 2020. So these people know what to do, know the principle, and maybe they come back. I'm very proud about that Debian Med has, oh, this is a typo. Well, no, it has 36 DDs and DMs. I need to check. We have 20 Debian developers who confirmed that they are only Debian developer because the Debian Med project exists. So that means they would not be Debian developers if the Debian Med project would not exist. This makes more than one developer per year, and this makes about 2% of Debian developers. And if you consider that the Debian Med project in principle is not very important for the whole Debian distribution, this makes quite some share because nobody would realize if those biology packages would not be inside Debian, except of those few bioinformaticians in the world who really rely on it. They would probably use something else, but we made some contribution to the whole Debian system, and I'm pretty proud about this, because also 10 out of the 20 people above extended their activity to other fields in Debian. Yeah, and 14 of these 20 people remain active in Debian Med, and some are doing really other things, which is, I think, a good thing for Debian in general. The conclusions are that the time I spent into the mentoring are really worth the effort, and the work is bearable. And the good thing for me is that I also learn from the students because they have read the latest documentation, which I have read 20 years ago. And so I can learn new stuff from them. And the major advantage is that we can work together with upstream developers. A lot of these MOM students are upstream developers of some software. They package their own code, which means they know how the package should behave on an installation, which is a real advantage since I'm not a user of all the software I'm packaging myself. And when upstream is doing the packaging, I can be sure that it works as expected. So at least 50% of the students had a strong connection to upstream, and some of the packages would not have been possible without their contribution. Yes, a team, what is the Debian Med team? For me, the definition of a team became that I'm waking up in the morning and realize that somebody else has solved the problem from yesterday. It really happens, and it's a great feeling. You go to bed are wondering, how can I solve this, and ask for help on the mailing list or IRC or so, and then you wake up and it's solved. And this is really great. Yeah, we have a link to Etherpad. You found in the, I can probably put it here in the notes, and I will now stop and come back to you, and you can see me then, and you can ask questions for me. This was all I wanted to present, and I would love to do the open discussion now, because that's all I wanted to say now here. You can ask questions first, and then I can continue with things about our sprints and so. But I want to hear questions. I prefer to questions. I think you can also show your faces if you have a camera, but please unmute only if you are speaking. Okay. So, anybody want to say something? If not, I show the Etherpad. No, before I show the Etherpad, I show a GIF here in the you can enjoy about my background, and then here is shortly the link to the Etherpad, which where you can write things. And I would be really happy if somebody would do notes there, because I'm occupied with talking and chatting, and other people could write down their note. And if there are any notes I should respond to, please mention this. Or if there is anything in IRC I should respond, great if somebody would read it out here. So, any comments? I would even love if everybody would introduce, give a short introduction to know who we are. This is usual thing for our Debian Med BoFs, and I start in the sequence of my screen here. I think, Jatan, you are just moderator, but you are perfectly welcome. If you want to say something, please unmute yourself and say something.
Thank you. So currently, what is the state of the COVID-19 hackathon in the Debian Med team?
Well, we're running 3 hackathons in total. The last one was last week. I need to admit that the effect last week was not as amazing as I was hoping for. But the first one in April, it was a really amazing experience. I think some of the people here in the BoF were not members before, and they came to us inside the BoF. We have a lot of people who either came as new members, came back from somewhere, and even more amazing was the real support we got from FTP Master. I have, in the more than 25 being a Debian developer, I have never experienced that several of my packages were accepted in less than 24 hours. So the usual package needs, well, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on the time FTP Master have, but we got it in less than 24 hours. And not only one package, we got lots of packages. We have some page where we are listing all those packages, and this was really great. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and my work changed from doing the pure technical packaging work to organizing people, sponsoring packages, organizing that everyone who wanted to help gets a sensible task that was probably to solve. So this was a really amazing effect, and I will report in detail about this on Saturday. Okay. So next one is Sao. Would you like to say something? So you are muted in case you want to say something. We cannot hear you.
The chat. He's busy right now.
This is Rebecca. Rebecca, you can say something. You can also show your camera or whatever. Hi, Rebecca.
Stuff. Science.
Oh, your connection is really bad. I can hear you. I can't really hear you. Can you be close to the microphone or so?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. It's way better. Yeah.
Maybe it's just overloaded. Pandas is my most popular package. We should maybe try to figure out at some point whether we could unstick the pandas transition, given that it's a bunch of bioinformatics packages that break, mainly Python biome format and a couple of Q2 things.
You did really great help with some of the Python packages, also the SnakeMake. It was really great help. Thanks for this. So, Graham, do you want to give some short introduction? Your mic is muted. Graham, your mic is muted in case you are talking. You are the only one you can unmute yourself. Okay. Hi. I can't hear you anyway. I can see you, but I can't hear you. Well, I know about you that you are also a member of the DebConf team, and DebConf is a similar team like the Debian Med team. It's working on chemistry software, and we share some packages which are relevant for chemistry and biology. And maybe Graham might be able to fix his mic or not, but you know how, or others might know how him a little bit. The next on my screen is Christian. Christian, do you want to say something?
Okay, I can say something. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm really a member of the Debian Med team. Probably not. So I've been at 2 sprints, I think. It was nice.
You was at 2 sprints, so you can consider yourself a member. And maybe if you have done some commits, well, who is a member? Yeah, fine.
I've been teaching some basic packaging. I remember one time. Yeah. For the first Corona sprint, I think I suggested that you look at Big Blue Button. I don't know, that was the same question as the first question. What is the outcome of the Corona sprint? So, and I don't know if you know, there's the FrostCon running in parallel today, and they're using Big Blue Button. We use it for teaching at the university, and we already organized a conference using Big Blue Button, and we're going to have the next one in a couple of weeks. It's a bit hard to install on Debian systems, as I understand. So the university is providing this for us, but of course it would be nice to have this as a Debian package. So, and perhaps you know the Tech Kids e.V., they had a talk in the morning, also using Big Blue Button for schools. So I think that's a great tool for conferences. This seems to work as well. This is Jitsi, right? So
yeah, this is Jitsi. Can you compare Big Blue Button with Jitsi? Because you seem to know both.
So I think Big Blue Button is nicer for presentations. I don't know if you can upload PDFs here and show this. You can have a whiteboard, so you can draw on it, draw lines. So I use it when I quiz my students. You can open the whiteboard, and they can also draw on the whiteboard, so you can develop stuff together on the tool, which is quite nice.
Okay, I think, well, I have seen your request for the package, and I think it would be really great to have in Debian, but I'm afraid you overestimate the power behind the packaging team of the Debian Med people. We are struggling really hard to get a lot of complex packages done, which are more the focus of the Debian Med team than this more general one.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be done by the Debian Med team.
Yeah, sure. I
We have
know, I
video
understand.
teams and everything, so I think it would be really nice. So I don't know how the university did this. It's actually working fairly well right now, but that would be a great tool for.
You should ask the university guys if they are running Debian or Ubuntu, and so make them understand that is.
A colleague rented a server and he set it up a month before the university did this. So we've been using this since March, I think, already. And there's a script. You just have a container and you install it in the container, and then it does some weird things and it works. So that's a bit complex or not transparent to see how it works.
Okay, so the thing is, if people solve their problems via container, the need to get a Debian package is lower. Yeah, but I fully agree. I would love to have a package, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. So
Thanks.
far, yeah. Nilesh, you are the next on my screen here. Do you want to give a short introduction?
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes. You
Hello?
can talk. Yeah, you can talk. We hear you.
Yeah. My name is Nilesh, and I have been a member of Debian Med for a few months by now. I have been fixing bugs and writing auto package tests, and I'd also been a part of the 3 sprints, and I introduced some new packages there. So that would be it, I guess.
Yeah. Nilesh is a Google Summer of Code student, and he's done a lot of good work. This year we had 2 Google Summer of Code students, one who had the task to write auto package tests for existing Debian Med packages, which is basically the same task that we are doing since 4 years. And this year, right before the Google Summer of Code application times stopped, we had this Debian Med sprint and the Corona breakout, and I was able to get another project accepted to package dedicated Corona fighting applications for Debian Med, which was, well, I do not really remember. This was probably Nilesh's work, and Pranav did the auto package tests also, or it was the other way around. So we have 2 students from India who contributed a lot of good work and did a lot of nice QA work and worked on new packages. This was really fun, and this was all also thanks to Corona that we had 2 students who did great contribution. And it would be really hard for me if I would have to decide between one of the very promising students if you had only one project. And yeah, I'm really happy about this. So I continue. Sam has written that he is not able to connect to his microphone. The last one I didn't ask is DR Dance. Could you give a short introduction after unmuting your mic? Because we cannot hear anything.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Daniele, and I have one package in Debian that is nifty to DICOM. And I'm the developer of that package, and well, I've not used it anymore since a lot of time, but I'm still a Debian user, and I'm working in robotics, and I would like to help somehow. I don't know. So I'm here to listen and
cool. Yeah. Well, this medical imaging stuff is a little bit hard for me because I have no idea at all about medical imaging, but I'm frequently need to fix bugs in these packages. A lot of them were introduced by the NeuroDebian team, by namely Michael Hanke and Jaroslav Halchenko, which did a really great work to have this NeuroDebian framework, but it turned out that over the last years, they became less and less active because they have other things to do. They are kind and friendly, and if I ask them a question about their packages, they are fixing it. But we definitely need more manpower behind this nifty DICOM and everything else package. So if you could contribute something to these packages, this would be really great. I would really support it. It would, if you commit something to our Salsa repositories and ping me, I will sponsor your packages, and so this would be really great.
Okay, cool. I actually kind of switched my field of work in the last years. That's why I haven't used Nifty and DICOM for the last years. I'm now working in robotics.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's competence of the Debian Med team or Debian Science, maybe.
Well, the robotics is also interesting. It is it's a little. We are very open, the Debian Med team, yeah, but it's. I think it's stretching too far to dive into robotics, but there is a robotics task inside Debian Science. To dive into this, Debian Science is more or less an umbrella for everything else which has no specific dedicated blend. Like I said, Graham is member of the DebConf team. We have also Debian Edu, we have Debian Electronics, yeah, and everything that doesn't fit or when are not enough people are working in Debian Science. And there's a robotics team, and they have robotics tasks. And yeah, if this is more your field where you work in and you are interested more into this field, I'd recommend to join the Debian Science team and look up there. I'm also lurking on the list, not with the same intensity as on Debian Med. I read it every 3 or 4 days. But if you need help and for the introduction, I'm fine with doing this.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we had, Sao was in the beginning not able to switch on her mic. If it's fine now, please speak now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Very clearly.
My name is Sao, and recently I'm doing some new package to Debian Med, and recently I have some questions about packing the package, which is the abandoned new package. There is a dependency called DebConf. Then there is some embedding code inside of DebConf. So I quite confusing how to deal with the embedded code with this situation.
Yeah. This is kind of a major blocker in packaging. If you have the JavaScript included in big amounts, and I wrote you on the mailing list. First, thank you for your packaging. Thank you for the other packages you did. This is great stuff, and I really hope that you might be able to do Google Sum of Code next year. So first of all, thank of this. And this actual question is, I cannot give a recipe. It starts with well, checking what JavaScript is inside the source code. It's specifically the minimized JavaScript is a problem because we consider it binary code and not source code. And then seek if any Debian package is contains this JavaScript, right? We had this React stuff, but then when I thought, oh, React is something famous, it should be, we should have package. I learned that 4 or 5 other packages are including it. So if others can do so, unclean stuff. It's not really clean, right? We need to package it. This would be the clean way, and we need to remove the code copies. But it's not your task as a beginner to do this. So I would try to do the same. I have seen some other JavaScripts. I do not remember now, but yes, check if there's a copy of it inside Debian with this packet. Remove it from your source code by using the files excluded statement inside the Debian copyright file. I can show you, and in the chat here, Rebecca is giving the hint that npm to deb is a tool you can use. So maybe you check the chat for further hints, then I can give orally. Yeah, and it will take some patience to get all this done, because it's a bit too heavy for a beginner, and we need to cooperate in this. I wrote you an answer to your sponsoring requests, and maybe you also answer there and say, I have a problem with this and this, and then we go step by step through it, and other people might help you on the mailing list. Just this is what I also try to propagate, to be open and ask your questions in the mailing list, because the work is tricky, and there are lots of people who know the tricks how to deal with it, or who might help you. As I said in the beginning of with my slides, a team is solving your problems while you are sleeping, and but you need to tell the people what actual problem you have. Okay, what is helpful? These general remarks. So we cannot solve these details here and this BoF, but we can manage later.
Yes, thank you.
And thanks again for your work on this, and for joining here this BoF. So anybody else? Has anybody checked IRC or the Etherpad or any locations where people might ask from remote?
Yes, I am at the IRC chat.
Okay.
So currently we have not questions there.
Okay. I'm even wondering if we can uncover this secret URL to the Jitsi meeting on the IRC chat.
There is a note in there that says somebody from Etherpad is wondering how to use the Jitsi.
Yeah.
Or being second-hand, don't know if they they don't have the URL or some other problem.
Yeah, I can very bet there is an echo in your thing. This is in the Debian Min Teams meetings. You were better to understand. It's a shame today because, yeah. Anyway, but you have given your hints here in the chat. So we try to store this chat log for later reference.
Oh, Andreas.
Yeah.
I think we have a question related to New Health. Anyway, connected to Debian Med. Is New Health connected to Debian Med? It is a question from Ju Ryan.
Okay. New Health. What is? Can you write it down? I have not heard about this. What's the channel? Do we have an IRC channel I just should watch? Can you print it in the?
Yes, I will share with you in the in the message.
Yeah. So DC20 talks, but I'm watching DC20 talks. I don't see this. Can someone who wants to know something from me please repeat the question in DC20 talks? Someone, Britain wrote, someone is Etherpad is wondering how to use Jitsi. Well, I will uncover this URL here to invite more people if they want to. Last seconds or last minutes of this talk, and then we can join here, because I don't think it makes any sense to exclude 2 or 3 potential newcomers here, because of Jitsi can manage this. GNU Health, okay. Well, for GNU Health, I can say we had a package of GNU Health. It is written in Triton, and but the Triton environment was a little bit complex and had well, it was hard to keep the Debian packaging and the Triton packages up to date, and so the maintainer of the GNU Health package decided to stop providing Debian packages of it. I'm not sure if this was a really good idea, but yeah, the Triton environment was a little bit. We have now an echo. Can you please mute either microphone or just here now in the Jitsi channel and have no sound in your video stream? It's that only one source of sound is running. This would be very helpful. I see Michael Crusoe joined. Michael, do you want to say something for the last minutes?
Oh, hi, everybody. I've been helping out in the Etherpad and IRC with questions. So it's nice to see some new faces and voices. And I've been absent these last few weeks, focusing on other matters. I hope to resume my packaging activities soon. Anyhow, I've been working in bioinformatics and now workflow technologies. So always happy to answer questions about computational workflow languages and standards. And excited to see more overlap between the Debian Med team and other groups in Debian. I don't think it's been highlighted yet, but the Bazel package has entered the new queue. So I want to give big congratulations to Oleg, and thanks to the folks at Google who've been helping us out. So we're hoping that that can be used to package TensorFlow, which unlocks a ton of scientific and engineering packages out there. So yay for cross-team collaboration.
Yeah, this is, I forgot to mention in when I was asked about the Debian Med sprint. The first one was very active, and Oleg Wojna started packaging Bazel because TensorFlow is a machine learning workflow, machine learning package which is developed by Google, but it needs the Bazel. It's kind of build system for like Make, but way more complex. And it was a major blocker that we had no Bazel package for Debian, and Oleg did a really, really great job to get it done. It's nearly done, and I've said to him, if we get it done until DebConf, then it's really great. And it's now in the new queue. It only depends from FTP master, and I really hope for their support. So yeah, thanks for this.
We also welcome folks check out the package now. You know, it's in bootstrap mode, so it's just what we hope to be enough to package TensorFlow, and kind of a more mature package that can be used for making other packages, but also just end user use of Bazel as a general packaging system is coming. So it's not meant to be full feature. That's why it's just called Bazel Bootstrap.
Yeah. So, and to shortly introduce Michael Crusoe, he became recently a Debian developer and is one of the most active people in Debian Med, and is also a Debian developer because of Debian Med exists. One of the people I introduced without names, and I'm really happy that Michael is on our team. So we have one new user who has the name Mercy. Do you want to give a short introduction? Do you have a question? But you need to unmute your microphone to do so.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Hi. Yeah. My name is Akitola. My name is Akitola Messi. Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Calling from Nigeria, doing a video from Nigeria. Yeah, I'm so happy to be in this conference. I'm glad to listen to you. So I requested for the link to join and introduce myself. So I'm a student of Federal University of Technology, Akure, schooling in Nigeria. Yeah, can you hear me?
Good.
Hello.
So,
thank you so much.
Since we are basically running out of time, I recommend you can join the Debian Med mailing list, and maybe you get some more information if you are really interested. And this would be cool if you join us and do some more. Maybe you can learn packaging in the mentoring of the month project or something like this. So we have two more fellow Debianites and have about 30 seconds to ask a question or so. So if you want to hear something, unmute your microphone, but please lower all the other sound resources in your room before you unmute the microphone.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. What's the status of Debian Med on ARM processors? Probably on mobile processors.
I did not understand. What is the use of Debian Med on what?
On ARM process. ARM
process. Okay, yeah. Well,
yeah,
as any other Debian packages, we try to provide packages on every release architectures. We have a lot of packages of Debian Med that are running on ARM, and Michael Crusoe is very active to support SIMD. Michael, do you want to say something about SIMD, which is quite interesting?
Yeah, the SIMD Everywhere library helps any application that was written for these processor-specific processing extensions run on other processors. So that we actually got as a Google Summer of Code project in coordination with the Open Bioinformatics Foundation. It's in Debian, a new release is coming. So previously we really, we were open to other architectures, but we didn't prioritize it. And now, because this is less of an issue, we're seeing a lot more ARM64 builds. ARM 32-bit builds are not a priority, but we would accept patches, especially if upstream accepts them as well.
We always
and there's a general interest in ARM64 computing between Apple and some HPC supercomputing clusters that are also trying out ARM-based processors. So expect to see a lot better compatibility, especially for 64-bit ARM computing.
We are happy about patches in any way. So not only for ARM, but yes, just support us.
We run out of time, and it has been a great mod. Thank you, Andreas, and everybody. So we will have a break of 1 hour and see you in the next talk.
Okay. Thanks for all who joined. See you in the Debian Med project.
Yeah, bye. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.